Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are looking for the morning pursuit call, you've come to the right place at this time. There's a new sheriff in town on Wednesdays. Pedro's gone, Dan is gone, Nick is gone. The inmates are running the prison today. So if this is one of your first morning despair calls, don't take everything I say too seriously and try not to be offended, because if you get offended over something I say, someone you barely know, that means you're a big giant sissy. So for all you new and experienced agents, remember, work hard, study hard, follow the system, or fail out of the business over the next 4 weeks. This is the morning despair call. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yours truly, the host with the most. Quintin, give that man a raise. So, Robert, and now the moment everybody's been dreading. Oh, look out, it's me, LB Triple P, your planet playing papa. There was none before me, there will be none after me. That makes me the one and only human single love Domingo, certified, bona fide, and indubitably qualified to bring you satisfaction and a whole lot of action. God, now, y'all, I'm your life. Now, as I mentioned before, this is normally the place for the morning pursuit call where we, one, promote peace of mind. Two, we begin again. And number three, we pursue excellence. But here at the morning despair call, we quit when things get tough. We only work when we feel like it. We bitch about our territory, make excuses for everything, and I only get people on the call that Pedro didn't already ask, which turns out is evidently everybody I ever call. So let's get this thing started with some stats from yesterday. If you like hearing bad things about other people, I will do my best to come up with some offensive nicknames. However, if hearing about how other people did better than you, it makes you feel worse about yourself, go ahead and hang up the phone. If you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen. So let's see if I can manage to get through the stats today without screwing it all up. And we're going to start with yesterday. And then we'll go to week to date so far. Getting on the board yesterday. Mr. Taylor Hopper, 2 for 1. Miss Stacy Durr didn't want to get on the call with me this morning because she was already on it yesterday. Good job yesterday. 12 door knocks on the day. This presentation, to an application. Not sure what just happened there. Mr. Booker Rodenbow getting back in the field. 13 door knocks, 1 presentation, 1 application. Great job, Booker. Mr. Juan De La Vega up in Ohio, where nobody else from Cardinal is other than Tom Michelle. 12 door knocks, 1 presentation, 1 application for 700. Mr. Cody Matthew in the liberal household that is Austin, Texas. 4 door knocks, 2 presentations, 1 application, 1100 in premium. Miss Amber Lewis, 3 presentations, 2 applications for 1200 in premium. Mr. Michael Part-Time Vasquez, 3 presentations, 2 applications for 1200. Mr. Anthony A. Price, 1 door knock yesterday. What the hell is that? Get back out there, work a little bit harder. 1 presentation, 2 applications, 1 presentation, 1 presentation, 2 applications for 1200. Mr. Brooks Collins, 3 presentations, 1 application for 1200. Mr. Positivity, always love when he makes it on the call. 7 door knocks yesterday, 2 presentations, 2 applications. Attaboy, way to close, Mr. Eric. And number 9, I hadn't seen this guy's name in a while. Not sure where you've been, Mr. Zach Wright. 4 presentations, 2 applications for 2,000 in premium. Awesome job. Terrible job on the door knocks. You got 0 in. Do better. Do better, be better. Come on, Zach. Melanie Parker, 10 presentations. Not sure that's accurate. 3 applications for 2,100 in premium. 4 door knocks as well. That's some awesome activity. Good job, Melanie. Not sure if you put their stats in properly or not. Mr. Courtney Hunt, he's been here longer, really even a new agent. Got 8 door knocks yesterday, 4 presentations, 3 applications for 2,300. Mr. Maximus Prime Clark, another one that couldn't get on because he got on with Pedro yesterday. 5 presentations, 3 applications for 2,500. Well, we're just now getting into the top 5. Mr. Travis Mickelson, his stats don't make any sense to me, but we're going to read them because that's what I do. It's on the teleprompter. I'm going to say it. We got 1 door knock, negative 1 presentation, and 3 applications. I've never seen a negative before. Way to go, Travis. You broke the system. Mr. Robert Dykes, number 4 on the day. 10 door knocks, 5 presentations, 4 applications. 3,000 on the day, and most important of all, he whooped up on Gianna or he tied her down so she couldn't put her stats in. Not sure which one is the case. Number 3 on the day, glad to see her back in action up near the top. Wish her door knocks were higher. She was only at 2, but the wedding crasher ended up with 2 presentations, 2 applications, $6 shy of 4,000 in premium. Awesome job, Jenna. And then a newer agent, number 2 on the day, 4 presentations, 2 applications, 4,000 in premium. Awesome job, Bradley. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your last name right. Not sure if it's Winger, but good job. And then number 1 on the day, my favorite experienced agent that I like to give hell to because it pisses off his mother-in-law, Mr. Nathan J. Albert's 5 presentations, whole applications, 5,100 in premium. Awesome job, Nate. Now let me see if I can toggle this thing successfully and see what our stats are for the week. Man, this is a really good week. You guys actually are doing much better. Man, I love it when the holidays are over because that means people get back to work and they gotta pay off all the stuff they got on Walmart layaway. All right, here's what we got. We went over 3,000 on the week. We got Mr. Robert Dykeson at 3,500 on the week. 36 door knocks. Love to see that action. 7 presentations, 5 applications. Like I said, 3,500. Anthony Price, number 5 on the week. 1 door knock, man, you're better than that. 6 presentations, 7 applications. Somebody taught this man how to close. That's over 100% closing with 3,500 on the week. Mr. Blake Starkins, we ripped him off and stole him from FFL a few years ago. He's working out well for it. 5 presentations, 4 applications for 3,900 in premium. Of course, the wedding crasher only takes her 1 day to make it on the board. 2 for 2 on the week with 3,900. Bradley, number 2 on the week, 6 presentations, 4 applications at 7,000. And what I love most is he's double-digit door knocks at 14. And Nate Alberts, number 1 on the day, number 1 on the week, 11 door knocks, 10 presentations, 10 applications, 9,600. It's incredible. Already basically at 10 grand after 2 days, and it is 8:40. And I've got a special guest on, so we'll skip to that. Miss Naomi Kaufman. Not Kaufman anymore. Miss Naomi Kaufman, can you hear me?
Oh yeah. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, good morning. And I'm excited to have you on. For everybody who doesn't know this, I get to do a lot of personal coaching and training with Naomi. I mean, I don't know what it was, 3, 4 years ago. Time flies when you're having fun. And she joined Cardinal several years ago. She's actually been in a very unique role for us for probably about 2 years, give or take. She's been a key utility player. She does all the things Nick, and Pedro don't have the time for, and probably to be honest, the things that we don't want to do. But she has done everything from personal sales and recruiting. She's helped us with some social media stuff from time to time. She's done hiring and interviewing for Cardinal, various admin related things. But predominantly over the last couple years, she has been one of our key trainers for both new and experienced agents. I'm probably going to leave some people off, but Robert Dykes, she helped train, who's now one of our top agents. Stacy Durr, who was on the call yesterday, been crushing it. Michael Del Rey, who's probably been the top rookie of the last 3 or so months. Bradley Winger, who's having a great start to the year. One of her trainees, Mr. Trevor Gritton, Mr. Sporadic, Trevor Gritton. Sonica, probably one of our top newer agents a year or 2 ago. Brooks Collins. And I know there's several others, not to mention, Naomi, I know you've done quite a bit of training via Rilla with some of our experienced agents, and you're not really even the official trainer on. But I primarily, Naomi, I'm sorry, repeat that. I was still talking and couldn't hear you.
I was saying, yeah, it's been fun.
Oh, you're right. And I primarily, Naomi, wanted to have you on to talk about Rilla, a newer company we've started working with maybe 3, 4 months ago. The idea is, I think, ultimately just helps record people's conversations in an easy way so that we can listen to it, give agents real-time feedback. Primarily thinking we'd be using it for new agents, but I know you've been using it for experienced agents. I'll kind of shut up there and give you the floor. Tell me a little bit about Rilla, what it does, and why it's important for agents, especially new agents, to use it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the coolest tools I think I've ever used because, and you know this, but when I first started training 2 years ago, I would do hour-long calls with like everyone in Cardinal, and it was great. Just like it took a lot of time, and then I moved to half-hour calls, and I did that for about another year or so with all the new folks, and now we're kind of transitioning into using Rilla more. Because I'd usually cover door knocking, then I'd cover like need finding or door knocking again, and then maybe if we got lucky, I could help them with closing. But with getting like multiple sales presentations from like one particular agent, I can spend the time to kind of dig through their whole sales talk start to finish. And once I see, oh, like this part of the sales talk is solid now, let's focus on this thing, it gives us the opportunity to work on things more intently, and sometimes like, and this isn't any slack on anyone, but sometimes it's like when coaching, you can only get the trainee's perspective, like the salesperson's perspective of like, oh, well, I got this objection. This is what happened, this and that. But on Rilla, I'm able to see, um, like verbatim what's happening in the sit down. So I'm getting, okay, this is probably what the rep was thinking. This is probably what the client was thinking. Like, how do we overcome X, Y, Z? So it's really cool. It'll even tell me like what percentage the rep is talking or the client is talking. The AI sometimes will give, me feedback. What's fun too is I've actually learned from other experienced agents. Like I feel like from Zach Wright, I've learned a lot of random turf knowledge about um where is he? New Mexico. Which is kind of funny. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about like selling to Native Americans on reserves and like the different turf knowledge you need to have for that. And just shows how much of a professional he is. Or it's been really fun listening to Blake Parkins and talking about probate and like, people have more assets, like if they're not our regular clientele, like the low middle income. So just a really cool tool that I've been enjoying. And I think the people that have been using it have been enjoying it too, which has been awesome.
Absolutely. And I normally try to gear my call more towards the newer agents, and I will do some of that, but I actually want to start with experienced agent because I had Anthony Price on last week, and for anyone that wasn't on the call, he went from 70K the year before to a little over 200K last year. And he gave a shout out to a bunch of people. The entire Cardinal team, I know Nate and Travis were extremely instrumental in his success. I'm sure there were others, but he also shouted out you as well. I think you had listened to maybe a couple of his, or I don't know if you routinely listen, but what's something that you kind of noticed about AP's presentation that you were able to give him some pointers on that you feel like you got feedback on and he said it was helpful and helped him increase his production because he's an experienced guy.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I was working through Phyllis yesterday, and I probably did like 10 of his because even though he's experienced, he's really good at just using it. Um, And like, I think maybe it's my hormones because of me being pregnant, but I was like getting emotional at like, oh my gosh, like look at how good AP is doing now. It's crazy. But I would say, honestly, even just 3 or 4 months ago, the realist I was listening to, like, I won't go too in depth. I don't want to throw him under the bus. But it was like,
Hey, this
there
is
was
the morning to
a
spare.
lack of
You're not throwing someone under the bus. You're not doing it right.
yeah, you're right. There's just like a lack of confidence, I think, with a lot of stuff. Like even we just didn't have to necessarily even do a selling, but like the amount of like that I was hearing, like I was like, Anthony, if you're gonna say that much, like just read your sales talk. Like you'll at least know what sentence you're saying next. Cause it's like if you wanna be confident with Miss Jones, you know? Um Even just like the little things, I think with experienced agents, it can be like, oh, we just get in our flow and we just kind of stop paying attention to the little things. The little things of like making sure the state license comes out in the beginning or making sure that, yes, we know how to read policy paperwork, but policy paperwork can't tell you if it lapsed or, if the policy has a loan on it or whatever. So just take the time to call if it's during hours. You can underwrite while you're on the hold time. Uh, so like little things that just kind of help you close more or just building confidence. And like, it sounds night and day almost like recordings I got 4 months ago versus what I'm getting this week. And it's like, I'm starting to even like create clips for training other people off of AP's sales talks. Cause that's the cool thing too, is with, when I find good stuff in the Rillas, I can actually clip it and it goes in the library where people can listen to it.
That's awesome. And again, obviously, AP, big shout out to you. Sorry for throwing you under the bus on that, but hey, uh, that's really cool that you're now actually somebody who you were doing a little bit of coaching with and doing well, working his butt off, but just able to just pinpoint a couple little things, and now you're able to use his recordings to help and train others. So big shout out, AP. Thank you for hopping on Rilla and using it. Again, it's not just for rookies, it's going to help experienced people. And I think that's something, honestly, anyone that's been in sales for a long time, when you get in a slump, honestly, one of the things I think every salesperson sometimes want is like when they're doing something wrong, they want to know why, but you can't, nobody wants to just sit around and ride around in the car with somebody all day, sitting in the house, sitting in homes of poor people with, couches that smell like cat piss. That's just, no one's going to sign up to do that. But Rilla allows your manager to help you out without having to smell all the cat piss you're sitting in. So big shout out to Rilla and Naomi for doing it because again, it helps us pinpoint what's going on. And you said it's the little things, and it's funny. I've talked to you and Nick, who have both listened to recordings, and the biggest thing I think I heard both of you guys say so many times is like agents just aren't using the sales stock. And I feel like I talked to you, Naomi, and you're like, yeah, basically all I'm doing is I'm listening to it, and then I'm able to have my proof and my evidence that agents aren't using the sales stock. And then it's like they start using the sales talk and they start doing better. But a lot of times we think we're doing something, but we're not actually doing it. Or, there's a saying, you don't know what you don't know, right? And I think a lot of times agents think they're doing things right, but we kind of forget when we leave stuff off. It's not that we're purposely doing it. We just don't remember that we're leaving it off. But Rilla is a very objective tool that you can use. Whereas, like, I guess before when you were coaching people, you might ask them how a presentation went and they're telling you how it went. Do you ever
Right.
like hear their version of the story and then listen to the recording and you're like, your version and what actually happened, or you kind of have a different takeaway after you listen to it?
I wouldn't like, I can still see like what the agent was saying, like of their version of the story. But I think that there are just more things to find in there. Like while they're fixating on this one objection that they got, like I can see, oh, well, I think they gave this person the objection because this thing earlier. Or I can ask the AI, like, how many times did this person bring up finances as a concern? And it'll say they brought up finances 11 times before they even quoted. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, so that's something that you kind of, I can get feedback on of like, hey, like in this section, in this section, in this section, this person brought up finances. Like, that's when you want to almost cover the objection before you're going to get it when you quote, because you will get it when you quote. Or like this person, brought up their son or daughter and how they like help them out with their bills and XYZ before you even got to the quote, right? So let's do our due diligence of saying like, hey, do we need your daughter or whoever here to complete the sit down, or should we just like reschedule? And then you were talking about the sales talk, but yeah, it's comical basically how much people just don't use the sales talk, which is always just shocking to me because I mean, it was most of the sales talk is written by someone or a couple people that have produced over 400,000 in a year. So if you want to produce over 400K in a year, like just use it, right? And work 40 hours a week. And then the other thing that I don't think that new people always understand is like every single sentence in there, like there's a reason why it's in there. Like people want to skip over the, oh, we help people that are on Social Security, disability, retirement after showing their state license, not realizing that what that does to the client and their brain is, oh, they work with people like me. Because then if the client says it like, a paragraph later of like, oh, well, I'm on a fixed income. So, whoever brings it up first wins, right? So it's like all the little things in each sentence is in there for a reason. Like we wouldn't just put it in there if it wasn't helpful. So I know I went on a tangent there a little bit, but it is like it makes me want to pull my hair out sometimes how much people just like won't read the sales talk off the page. It's like it'll make your life so easy.
No, absolutely. And again, I think it's people feel like they're going with the sales talk. They feel like they're using it because they're in the moment. They're doing what they think is the right thing, and they think they're sticking to the script. But sometimes, yeah, people go off on tangents that aren't helpful, or they end up giving people objections, or they're essentially just not covering the most important things. And that's one of the hardest things about this job is there's a lot to learn in a short period of, and there's a lot to learn. And I say a short period of time because you only have so long that you can suck at this job, but you got to make money. And the best way to make money is to be good at the job. To be good at the
Right.
job, you got to get coaching, you got to get feedback. So, bottom line, if you're not using Rilla and you're a newer agent, I mean, you're literally just you're flushing money down the toilet, not getting feedback on what you're actually saying from somebody who's coached a bunch of people, had success, and this is all free to you to use. It's free to it's free to use the actual technology that's quite expensive that Cardinal pays for, and then we pay Naomi to listen to these things. This is all stuff that's already paid for. If you're not using it, I've got serious concerns about your desire to get better at the job. Tools are only good if you know how to use them or if you actually take the time to use them and get them set up. So if you've not done it so far because it's not a habit you've set, just write it down, put it on your calendar, give yourself a timeline of when you're going to get Rilla figured out. Reach out to either Nick or Naomi. I guess on that note, Naomi, if there's somebody that's not on Rilla that's listening to this and they do want to get on Rilla because they want the additional coaching, what would be the process for them?
Honestly, the best thing would just be to text me because if I haven't already put you on Rilla, it just means that maybe I don't have your email or I miss you when you got, contracted. Because usually I get an email from Janine and then I go, oh, okay, I need to add them to Rilla. So, get my number basically, or we could put it in the CSV chat. Someone that you know probably has my number though, and just text me your work email and I'll add you.
Absolutely. And if you guys don't know her number, text me and I will blast it out to everyone. Maybe even go ahead and post it on the WhatsApp group. But odds are if they don't have your number, they're probably not on the WhatsApp group either. But we are at 8:55. Normally I try to drag this thing out to about 9 o'clock, but Naomi, I believe you have to go to an appointment. You're like now.
Yep, I'm about to walk into my birth center. Woo.
There you go. Well, congratulations. Congratulations on the baby. That's going to be exciting. And thanks for all your hard work. And I don't know, is there anything else on Rilla or anything else you want to share before you walk in that door and let everyone
Uh,
go?
I want to give a shout out to Martha Avila. She's a new agent. I think she's working with Travis, but she hopped 2 feet into using Rilla, and it's been fun getting to help her, but it's been fun getting a ton of recordings from her. So be like Martha, be like Anthony Price, turn in recordings, hit play on your phone. It's not that hard, and I'll help you make more money.
There we go. Well, thank you guys for getting on the call. Have a good day. Get your door knocks in. Get your door knocks in. Get your door knocks in. And if you forget to do that, go ahead and get your door knocks in. Y'all have a good day. We'll talk to you later.